Hello everyone, welcome to this webinar today, where we're going to be exploring the tools that have been developed to assist accountants, bookkeepers, business advisors, chief financial officers to be able to offer debtors management to your small business and medium-sized enterprise clients. I'm Peter Towers, the Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. And I do welcome you. The accountant's role in assisting clients on debtors management. It's very important. And the key issues are contributing to the reduction in debtors days outstanding, reducing the investment in debtors overall by the business, improving the business's cash flow, and advising your clients about the protection that they can obtain if they've registered a client on the Personal Property Securities Register, a client that's a pardon me, customer that owes them money, to get protection against liquidators' claims of unfair preference payments. So we've got a bit to get through. The location of debtors management is within the individual products within ESS BIZTOOLS. And I'm going to show you that soon. So the debtors management product package is available within a number of the ESS BIZTOOLS packages, including the tools to create opportunities, which is our current promotion, the starter package, the optimum package, and the advanced package, and the standalone debtors management. So there's plenty of opportunities of being able to access debtors management. So now we're going to go to ESS BIZTOOLS to analyze the debtors management. And I'm going to bring up for you the debtors management package, which is on the ESS BIZTOOLS. So I've gone through the individual products and clicked on debtors management, and it's the first one that we're going to look at. So when you go onto the package, there's a training video that you can watch, and there's a summary of what's included within this package. You then click on download content, and this is a list of the content that's included within the package. I'm going to click on the procedure control form. There's a procedure control form for each of the packages within ESS BIZTOOLS. I'll just click on the debtors procedure control form. So I was saying there's one of these types of forms in each of the 30 packages within ESS BIZTOOLS. It helps you implement these products, because we've gone through and broken this up into your quotation and proposal, and we have some templates there you can use if you wish, or you can create your own. The preamble, which is really how do you get your team that are going to be involved in the delivery of debtors management ready. The systems overview, reviewing the questionnaires you are going to use with the client. You may have already established that you don't need some of those questionnaires, or you need to modify them to suit the client's particular requirements. We've got the briefing material, which again is part of your preparation. And then we got the systems evaluation. That's actually sitting down and going through what the client system is at present. And in a lot of cases, it can be fairly haphazard, can't it? No one's really sat down and developed a written system. So this is your opportunity to look at that. In fact, we do have a separate module on the written debtors system, which we'll be conducting a separate webinar on in a few weeks' time. Then we could look at debtors monitoring, protection against liquidators' claims, that's the Personal Property Securities Register area, and debtors reports. And I'm here today to give you an overview of how all this can be utilised by you to offer this service to your clients, to earn professional fees, of course, but to help your clients reduce debtors' days outstanding. A few years ago, Australia was determined as having the longest debtors' days outstanding in the world. This was a survey organised from the United Kingdom, but it had worldwide application. And Australia was judged to have an average debtors' days outstanding of 56.4 days. There was some outcry after that. The Australian Government Small Business Ombudsman, Kate Carnell, made an impassioned plea to big business and to government to improve the payment terms for businesses. And the government did act, the federal government and some of the state and territory governments and some big businesses. And yet 3 years later, another report has indicated that debtors' days outstanding is 56 days. So in 3 years, it's only improved by 0.4 of a day. Not much improvement. And we were about 3 to 4 days behind the best firms in front of us. So the next closest firms in front of us when that survey was done. So there's still significant improvement to be made. So if it's not big business that's causing it and governments, because both of them have made some improvements, pardon me, what is the problem? I think part of the problem is a lot of our SME clients have not got an appropriate system. They do not understand the urgency of getting tax invoices out promptly. They're not putting due dates for payment on those tax invoices. And perhaps accountants have not been as diligent as what we could have been as a profession in making sure those of our clients who are offering credit understand the need for strong control around their debtors management. So I'm just scanning through the procedure control form. You can see it takes you through on a step-by-step basis on the whole process. And now I'm going to bring up some of the forms so you can have an overview of what's involved in this process. Now, the first form I want to bring up is the debtors management evaluation. And I'll just go to new share. This form is a work program which will give you some idea of going through and planning how you're going to undertake this job for your clients. We've listed every step that we can think of in this debtors review process, and you can then utilise the form to plan how you might go about undertaking this assignment for your client. So you've got that sort of form to assist you to get started. The next form that I want to refer to is the debtors review questionnaire. The debtors review questionnaire enables you to have a discussion with your client to find out how much is owed by the debtors. What's the aged analysis tell you? What is the debtors days outstanding figure? Do they ask clients to complete a credit application form? Does someone contact the referees to determine the credit worthiness of this applicant? A mercantile agency such as Dun & Bradstreet checked. Directors' guarantees obtained for companies that are wanting to open an account. Are those guarantees filed in an appropriate manner so that they're readily obtainable at some future date if there's a problem? Is there a welcome to new customer letter prepared? And so the form goes on. So it's helping you to conduct a due diligence review of your client's debtors system. And I'm going to leave that one now and move on to the next one I want to raise with you, which is the debtors system form and documents. Now, this is all part of the preparation process at this stage. Have you reviewed the commentary? There's the various commentary. You can review that and decide whether you need to implement. What systems this client already got? Do they have a system? Review it. Make suggestions on changes. Do they have a credit application form? Is it appropriate? Does it include the type of forms that are required for the Personal Property Securities Register, which we'll talk about in a moment? Is there provision for the director's guarantee forms if it's a company making an application? Is there a welcome to new customer letter? Does this specify the terms of trade and the retention of title agreements? Does the customer have any particular requirements relative to tax invoices? Is there deadlines when they require them by? A lot of businesses have got those deadlines, 7 or 8 days into the next month. You must have submitted all the information. Does the customer require some additional information to be submitted to them, attached to the tax invoices? It might be a weighbridge certificate. It might be a health certificate. It might be something else that they require. If they don't get it, they won't make payment. And this can be one of the reasons why some of your clients have got debtors days outstanding up around 90 to 100 days, yet other people servicing the same customer have got debtors days outstanding of 35 to 40 days. I've actually found that, and the real cause was complete ignorance of the deadline cutoff dates. Just ignored that the customer had stipulated they required, and not attaching some additional documentation that the customer had stipulated that they needed to receive. And there's some comments then about the Personal Property Securities Register, which is very important, and we'll have a better look at that requirements in a moment. The next item I want to refer to is the personal director's guarantee and indemnity. This is very important, and there's a sample of that form that you can look at. This is only a draft sample. Your client should be getting their own solicitor to draw up a document, but if they want to know what a director's guarantee looks like, this is one that you could show them so they've got a better appreciation of what's involved. I think it's also a good idea to make some inquiries as to what the client's view is on debtor statements. There's a growing number of SMEs not dispatching debtor statements any longer to clients. They're trying to get the client to be paying on the tax invoice. It's very important, as I said earlier, that the tax invoice has got a due date for payment predominantly shown on that document, so that the client is aware of when payment has to be made. And I think it's a good idea that there's also a follow-up to remind. So this can be done electronically, and there are companies that supply that system these days. 3 or 4 days before a due date, a text to remind the customer that a payment date's approaching. We all get this from other people. Are your clients implementing it with their customers to try to improve debtors days outstanding? So there's comments there on debtor statements. Now, obviously, you can share any of this that you wish with your clients. The next one I want to show you is a form to assist in debtors management. And the debtors management form will give you some hints that you might want to discuss with your clients on proactive management of debtors. Try and spot problem debtors early. Watch their debtors days outstanding. Review the aged analysis. Implement follow-up action as soon as someone gets beyond 30 days, unless there's been a specific approval at top level in the business to enable someone to trade for longer than 30 days. So this form will guide you through giving that sort of advice to your clients. And as you can see, this paper and all the others are all linked to other documentation within the system so that you can effectively be assisting your clients in this place. So I'm now going to move into the systems evaluation area of the material that we produce. And the first one is the form that I'll just go to now, debtors management system. This is how you then follow through to ensure that you've reviewed or you've implemented the things like credit application form, director's guarantee form, welcome to new customer letter, which I'll be showing you in a moment, and all of the other forms. So this is how you control that what's being done, what you're going to recommend to this particular client. The next document I want to show you is the application to open an account. I think this is very important. Far too many businesses are not being diligent in this approach to an application to open an account. This form collects all the information that's going to be required: trading address, postal address, full details of applicants, who are the directors, who are the partners, details of the company, its ACN, date of incorporation, etc. Details of trusts, how much are they applying for as the credit limit, an acknowledgement of the terms of trade of the business. I think far too many of our SME clients basically give credit to anyone who asks for it. And that's one of the reasons they have bad debts and we've got large debtors days outstanding. Hopefully this type of approach will assist. Then we have a form that you can use to guide a client on approving a prospective client. And I'm going to bring that up for you now, if I can. This form will assist in going through and making sure that you've checked everything, or your client's checking everything within the system to ensure that the system is being approved on a proper basis. The next form I want to share with you is the welcome to new customer letter. Which is on the screen now. It's a letter that you could suggest that your client introduces to be sent to the new customer. It confirms their terms of trade. It confirms the credit limit that's been granted and gives you a proper introduction, or gives your client a proper introduction to this new customer. Allows the introduction of the team that's going to be servicing this new customer to also be made. So they're the types of documents that are included within the ESS BIZTOOLS package to guide you in this process of implementing the tools to create opportunities to enable your accounting firm to be able to offer a diversified range of services. So we have a special promotion, 7 great products, and your investment is only $795. This is a promotion we've introduced to help accountants who want to diversify, who want to be part of this great crusade to offer diversified services to Australian SMEs, as foreshadowed in the CommBank report that was released in May this year. As we come to the end, hopefully, of COVID-19 lockdowns, we've instigated this special package. Your investment is only $795 for 12 months access. You get 7 great products, 4 of which are standard in each package, and we'll go through what they are in a minute. And then you can select the other 3 that you would like, that you think can suit your firm. So the standard packages are the business advisory services training. There's 13 modules to help you get your team ready. Business Plus newsletter, we produce that each month, except January. There's 13 editions in the year. In May, there's 2 extras. We haven't added an extra couple of months. There's 2 extras, one on the federal budget as it affects SMEs, and the second one on the end of year tax planning. We have ESS papers. This package has access to 343 papers covering 60 different subject headings that you can badge and send to your client. So you sit down and talk to a client about starting a business or scaling up the business and growing it, or whatever, budgets, cash flow forecasts, good management practices, government grants, and you can send them one of the articles we've written, badge with your name, to confirm to your client, and then follow them up, because this whole purpose is trying to get your client to have comfort and confidence that you're able to give them business advice in addition to taxation advice. And the SME needs analysis, the most important document in the ESS BIZTOOLS range of products. And that is, it gives you some discussion points on a whole range of matters that you can sit down and have a cup of coffee with a client and talk to him or her about what they would like in their business. It might be an improvement in key performance indicator information. It might be actually training their team to understand what the KPI reports mean. It might be how to reduce debtors days outstanding, as we've discussed here today. A lot of your clients might not even know what their debtors days outstanding figure is. So they're the 4 pre-selected products, but then you can select 3 out of this following list, which has got 22 products in it. So 3 out of 22. Surely you'll find some that you want. We've got business health checks for 5 industries that are listed there on the screen. And they're a mixture of KPIs and benchmarking type information, far more detail than what you will get in a benchmarking report. We then have business planning, tradies charge out rate calculator, which is proving very popular for some of our accountants. One firm's got over 110 tradies all on this system and are raving about it. Professional firms charge out rates calculated, not only for accountants or bookkeepers or professional advisors, but lawyers, architects, engineers, town planners, surveyors, all sorts of people. A retail wholesale, stock mix, pricing calculator, buying a business, client mentoring and coaching modules. These are pre-prepared modules that you can be sending to your clients. They educate the client in some of these additional services that you could supply. Client seminars and webinars, 12 pre-prepared seminars and webinar materials. PowerPoint slides, everything's done. All you got to do is read it and then badge it with your names and send the invites out or promote it. Crowdsource funding, equity raising. I think there's going to be a significant increase in crowdsource funding equity raising this year. There was a 125% increase in the year up to June this year. And that was right through the COVID-19 problems. And I think it's going to continue to go as small and medium enterprises are looking around and saying, do we really have to be borrowing money and mortgaging assets and entering into personal guarantees? Is there another way? Well, there is. Crowdsource funding, equity raising. All they're doing is offering shares, a percentage of the company immediately, but it's saving a lot of heartache in mortgaging assets. Debtors management system, that's what we've been referring to today. The early stage innovation company capital raising process. It's for a specific type of company, normally under 3 years of age, in some cases up to 6 years, turnover under $200,000 in the previous year, expenditure under $1 million in the previous financial year, and they need to have done something, been involved in research and development or activities that have got them admitted to the Accelerating Commercialization Grant. Those companies are very favorable to investors because investors receive some significant tax breaks. If you don't know about it, contact us. We've got a package there. And obviously you can subscribe to that one if you think your clients might be interested. We got government grants. So you can access our government grant identification system, which we call ESS Biz Grants. It's on a separate website to ESS BIZTOOLS, but it's all part of the package. And that will enable you to be monitoring what grants are available for individual clients. There's grants coming out every day. My assistant said to me yesterday she had emails for 25 new grants hit her on Tuesday. And that's what's going on all the time. Leadership modules, you've got access to 4 modules, and the personal property securities register that we've touched on today. And it's a real area of concern. Over $440 million has been lost mainly by SMEs through ignorance of that legislation. It's a requirement to register your client's assets on it if you want to fully protect them. So that's what's in the package. You select 3 out of that list of 22. The other 4 come with it because we know that will help you market and promote that you're offering business advisory services. If you need more material, if you want research and development, if you want chief financial officer services, if you want any of the other, we've got a total of 30 packages. So if you want any of the other 8, you can let us know at any time and we'll give you a proposal for upgrading of your subscription. So hopefully that will help you, and it helps you get into diversifying your services. Oh, I didn't finish. I thought I had. Selling a business is one of the packages also. The SME's Debtors Systems Manual. It takes the material we've looked at today and then shows the templates whereby you can actually develop that written systems manual to hand to your clients, and then make an annual review process, part of the proposal with your client that you review every year to make sure they're not changing things, or perhaps something's changed in how the business operates that warrants a change in the system. Succession planning, an enormous issue. for SME operators all around Australia, and survival in difficult times. 38 questionnaires, looking at every aspect of a business. Obviously, debtors is a key issue, but there's 37 others. There's a set of questions, and then we have it linked to some articles we've written on each of those 38 questionnaires so that you can give those suggested answers or templates on what we think a client should do in particular circumstances to your client. A great way to really identify areas that your client is looking for assistance. So that's what we do at ESS BizTools. We write this material based on my experience as a practitioner. I was in the firm for 25 years as a senior partner, but I also did 11 years in a corporation as the chief financial officer and company secretary. And since I've been running a consulting business, we consulted to Oz Industry, federal government, to be part of one of the major Australian government programs at the time, COMET, Commercialising Emerging Technology. So I've tried to use all that knowledge and contacts that I've developed over the years to bring you some real products that you can use today, tomorrow, and next week to offer professional, diversified services to your clients. So if you need more information and you'd like to make a subscription as part of the Tools to Create Opportunities product package, you can please send us an email and we'll send you the full package brochure, or if you'd like the subscription form so you can subscribe. We can't have you subscribing direct to our website today because unfortunately we've got a major new website, but there's just been a couple of days delay in uploading that new website. It will be up next week, and then we will be able to show you, if you're going to join us next Tuesday and Thursday for the next installment of these webinars, you'll be able to get direct links then to get the product package and the subscription material. But in the meanwhile, if you're interested in doing something on debtors based on our presentation today, please send me an email and we will send you the documentation, peter@essbiztools.com.au, and I look forward to being able to talk to you. Our next webinar in this series is next Tuesday, the 12th of October. Tools to Create Opportunities, client seminars and webinars. I think seminars and webinars are the best marketing tool that's available for accountants. If you disagree, come along and I'll try to convince you next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and obviously that's 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. So I look forward to you talking to me then. If you want to register, please go to www.essbiztools.com.au/webinars. And my contact details are there. If you want to give me a ring, 1-800-232-088, or send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. And you can view our old website at present if you want to have a look, but our new website should be operational by Monday morning. Okay, so thank you very much for being with us. I hope you've enjoyed this training webinar. Stay safe, and I'm looking forward, as I'm sure you all are, to the end of these lockdowns around Australia. Goodbye. Pardon me.